Thank you for attending the Cannabis Investor Webcast. Our platinum sponsors today are Cannabis Science Incorporated, Kaya Holdings Incorporated, Nemus Bioscience Incorporated, Technical 420, Toriga Sciences Incorporated, Pathogen DX, and Mental Capital Incorporated. Please reserve the date, May 23rd, 2016, for the Cannabis Publicly Traded Companies, Investors, Analysts, and Media Conference. The website address is cannainvestorconference.com. Again, CANNA investorconference.com. Our next presenter is Michael Berger, founder and president of Technical 420. Michael, give me a couple of seconds and I will make you a presenter.
I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm Michael Berger. I'm here with Technical 420. And what we are is we're an online research firm that provides independent analysis on over 100 publicly traded companies. Our mission is to provide you with the most comprehensive, accurate information on these companies as quickly as possible so you can take advantage of these volatile price movements as well as getting them in on the ground for some great investments. We have an in-house team of analysts that's devoted to separating the winning from the meddling stocks. We've been featured in Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance, NBC, Washington Post, Miami Herald, a lot of great sources. To give you a little bit of information about myself, I'm the president and founder of Technical 420. Prior to founding Technical 420, I was working for Raymond James Financial. My talents were recognized pretty early on, and I moved up the corporate ladder quickly. I was working in the equity research department as a senior energy and MLP specialist, where I'd act as an intermediary between the research analysts and our financial advisors. Starting on January 2014, I was pretty much only receiving phone calls about cannabis stocks. Unfortunately, we couldn't provide any of these advisors with information because the financial industry is very regulated, and if you don't cover these companies, you can't talk about them. By March 2014, I received close to 500 phone calls, and I decided to leave my career behind and to start Technical 420. I've been investing for about 10 years, and I started investing while I was in college. I actually made my first investment on February 27th of 2009. I was a chemistry major at the time, but I was just interested in the stock market, and I went to Apple Store, checked out their stock, saw it was trading low, and I put some money in it. 6 months later, I changed my major to finance and economics because I realized this is probably where I need to be working. I'm currently studying for level 2 of the CFA. I am working towards other degrees as well, and what I'm here to talk about, though, is Technical 420. So what makes us different from the rest of the competition, if there is any competition? We're independent. None of my employees can take money from any companies. They can't trade any of these stocks, and we don't accept money for favorable ratings. We've been offered a number of times, and that honestly makes the company look terrible to us. The partnerships we've created with The Money Show, Steve Crowley's Money Talk Radio, and we have some exciting new ones coming up soon. We speak at conventions, and I'll actually be in the Denver area on July 12th for the Indo Expo conference speaking about marijuana stocks. So if you're there, you should definitely check that out. We have an extensive pipeline of products that are the first of their kind, and there's nothing else out there because we provide research reports that are non-biased. When I'm saying non-biased, that means that I'm writing the report, I'm editing it, and then I'm publishing it. I don't send it off to the company to see if they like it. I don't give you a price target because you can't give price targets on these companies. These companies are too new. They're still growing. There's so many potential catalysts and growth inhibitors that you really can't try to prove in an analysis. We have a pretty large and growing following on Facebook. We have over 25,000 followers. Check us out on Twitter. So what I'm saying is that these companies don't trade like your typical Apple, Google, JP Morgan, any normal blue chip stock or any regulated stock on the NASDAQ or NYSE. These things are traded all over the place, so you really got to know which ones to invest in. The way we do that is through the proprietary algorithm I developed that merges technical, fundamental, momentum, and market sentiment data to yield the most comprehensive analysis possible. We utilize programs from Thomson Reuters to give us the real-time data. I'll show you what that looks like pretty soon, as well as Icentium, which is it's an industry leader in data mining technology. So what they do is they mine all tweets, which there's actually probably 10 million tweets a month about finance-related stocks, and I'm probably underestimating actually. And they measure this versus the stock price. So they measure market sentiment based off these tweets, and they won't take like a tweet into consideration if you're not legitimate. For example, Jim Cramer has a much higher score than I do on their system. I argue that, but I guess he wins. So this is what the real-time quotes look like. And it's a little blurry for you guys, but pretty much we monitor all the stocks at once. We have our charts. We have our real-time quote stream. We also monitor trading activity. So you'll see what's causing these stocks to go up, what's causing them to go down. Thomson Reuters is definitely one of the best programs out there, and I mean, under Bloomberg, it's the best go-to. So this is how we get our information out to you. And now we're going to get into discussing how I do that. So our algorithm consists of a number of factors that include these following ones, but we have a lot more because you can't just judge stocks based off of these factors because there's no institutional ownership. Your typical Apple or Google will have like a 90% institutional mutual fund ownership. Marijuana stocks, the highest ones, GW Pharmaceutical, GWPH, they're owned 40% of their shares are owned by mutual funds, which is the highest. Everyone else is less than 5, if not 0. So you want to look into what exchange they trade on, what's the dilution potential, who makes up their management. We help you with all this. The way we do this is through a Pro Trader membership. Through the membership, you get access to our newsletters, our premium feed, access and analyst concierge service, our premium indices, our stock of the week, and our watch list. We also sell these research reports and an industry analysis report through our store. Instead of trying to tell you all these at once, let's go through them one at a time. So our premium newsletters, you get pre- and post-market reports that discuss key industry and company developments. These are focused on investment opportunities, and they also discuss the headwinds these companies face, risks, and we highlight specific companies for our subscribers. We send out the Wake and Trade, which is on the left, at 9 a.m. every day, and the 420 report at 4:15. The premium feed is one of our best products. People love it because this is where you get an inside edge on this fast-moving market. You get a daily stream of quotes, news, announcements, earnings, and stock picks in our analysis. We've attached one below. So today, we recommended selling Novus NDEV, NDEV, at 17 cents per share after I recommended them on May 22nd at 5.5 cents. In just less than a month, these subscribers generated a 214% return. As you can see, I post on the bottom, the stock was down 8% on good news that they were expanding into new markets. So the markets don't trade rationally, so stock traded down, created an opportunity because the stock was down probably 90% this year at that moment, and we saw value. We recommended selling because, a 200% gain is pretty good. We also have long-term recommendations. Right when we launched our service, I immediately recommended GWPH when it was trading below $70. Today they're trading around $122. In less than 6 months, you got a gain of at least 78%, depending on what time we bought and sold. But we also have other features. Access an analyst. Do you have a question about the stock market? Do you want to know how to open an account, place a trade? You want to know what's going on in the market? Reach out to our analysts, and they'll get back to you within 30 minutes. If it's very busy, it might take an hour, but I doubt it because I'm in charge. This is a service that's offered only during trading hours, and you can ask us about anything. We pride ourselves on how good of information we give you guys, but we're even focused on better customer support. You can access our premium indices as a member. These are 4 different indices that track the performance of a certain group of stocks, comparable to an ETF, an exchange-traded fund, or a mutual fund. These indices include hot opportunity areas, such as our watch list, which I'm about to go over, but understand that these indices are not actually traded. This is just us showing the performance of a group of stocks and monitoring so you'd see how they would perform. We also have the stock of the week. We can celebrate every hump day on Wednesday with one big pick. We will highlight companies that we think are undervalued or overvalued because we want to make sure you're focusing on the best companies. We'll give you the specific reason, discuss why, and give our rationale. We attached half of our most recent one from this week. So our watch list. It's a unique list of companies that helps investors focus on a number of companies that are acting on initiatives and actually making significant decisions and acquisitions in the industry. These companies have catalysts, which we describe to you. We tell you when to buy or what prices to get in or exit. We explain everything to you in plain English so anyone can understand. So what I really want to talk about is our new platform, and it's coming soon. In less than 2 weeks, you'll have access to the future of Technical 420. No longer will we have one package because a lot of people don't want to pay $20 a month or $200 a year. So we're going to be having a $9.95 package, $19.95 package, or $50 package. If you purchase or you subscribe prior to our transition, you'll be grandfathered in at your current price. So if you sign up, you will never pay $1 more. You will never pay a penny more. Your price will stay as it is today, $19.95. If you sign up today as well, you get a free week. You put in your credit card information. We don't hold on to your information, but your card will not be processed for a week. If you cancel during that week, you'll never be charged. Sign up. You really have nothing to lose if you're interested. Just check it out. So what new features are going to have on this platform that are going to be the first of their kind? So the biggest complaint we've had with the service, well, not complaint, but issue, is that you can't stay on the site the entire time. You can't access my trade alerts because you can't just be on my website the whole time. So we're going to have text alerts. So no matter where you are, this will keep you plugged into the market. You don't have to watch it like a hawk. We'll do it for you. Anytime I make a buy or sell recommendation, you'll get an alert. We're also going to have, you can access a virtual trading portfolio. You can see the trades we've made, the trades we're looking at, try to recognize patterns, and you'll see which ones, what points of entry and exit we are looking at. This is a virtual mock trading portfolio. We are not making legitimate trades, but all the information will be disclosed based on the current bid and ask. You'll also get 4 company research reports for free per month. The way we'll do this is subscribers will request a report, and the amount of requests we get, that's what we'll write about. You let us know. This is about you. You'll receive 1 report every week. So we'll probably usually highlight the one that's trading the most frequently or the most interesting that week. It's up to you. We sell these reports for $10 in our store. So that's a $40 value that's going to be included in your package. So how big can this industry be? It could outpace the tobacco industry over the next decades. There's so many sectors. There's so much going on. It's so much bigger than just the growing and selling of marijuana. People don't understand that. There's so many catalysts for growth. For the first time ever, the Gallup poll and the General Social Survey found that a majority of the public favors the legalization of marijuana. The catalysts is deregulation, treasury reform, opening of new state markets, and the passing of legislation that will enable these markets to continue to grow without interference. So we came up with a model that predicts the industry to be a $500 billion industry by 2030. Each metric was tested and retested to ensure there was a correlation between the variable and market growth. Our analysts were able to identify key metrics that influence this growth, and we identified and ranked these over a 2-month period of time while this was being written. Although a number of financial firms have attempted to measure the size of the market, their estimates are understated and incomplete because they measure the market based on the revenue generated from marijuana sales. That's not all this industry is. Hemp can change the world. The drugs that GW Pharmaceutical is developing will improve daily life for millions of people around the world immediately. The pharmaceutical and the industrial hemp industry are going to be massive industries. And think about the gold rush. You didn't make your money mining for gold. You made it selling the picks and the axes. The ancillary businesses are going to be some of the biggest winners. I mean, even the ones that are trading on regulated exchange, like Scott's Miracle Grow, they actually own a subsidiary that's in the marijuana industry. This industry is going to do things that people have never seen before, and it's going to improve everyone's life, and it's amazing. I show you a few examples of our reports, what they look like, as well as what the store looks like. Check it out. I mean, it's going to look a lot better when we relaunch the website in 2 weeks, but this is a great thing going on, and you should get in on the ground floor. Register today and receive a free week trial, and if you stay with us, you'll never pay a penny more. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Username is Technical420, or contact us using the email address listed below. Derwin, now that's it.
Thanks, Michael. Give me a couple of seconds to queue up questions. First question, Michael. What was the overall cannabis industry performance year-to-date for 2015 versus 2014?
Well, 2014 was an anomaly because the performance from January to March was unbelievable. Like stocks were up 20,000%, but most of those stocks are down around 80 to 90% since. It's much harder to find winners in this market, but due to our research, our analysis, we're able to pick winners on a weekly basis. This year, we're up over 4,000%.
Gotcha. Next question. Let me see if I can get this straight. Can you actually make any money on the cannabis penny stocks? Is the spread between bid and ask too large?
It's a good question, and a lot of times you'll come across that problem. But the thing is that when these stocks go up very quickly, their volume goes up quickly too. This will cause the spread to shrink, and it'll actually give you the ability to sell at a spread that's not too wide. You just got to monitor it closely and set your limit orders before, because the orders will trigger. Just place them.
Okay. Next question. Any comments on cannabis companies' management team experience? Seems to be a lack of experience in the industry.
Oh yeah, the management team is one of the most important things you need to look into. But just like I'm saying with all these other companies, I mean, there's over 300 companies. 90% will not be in business 2 years from now. But that still leaves you with around 30 to 40 companies. For example, there's a company, Nemus Biosciences. Check out their management team. It's full with Ivy League MBA grads, and they just brought in a major exec from Allegri. Also, check out venture capital. Chet Billingsley, he got his MBA from Harvard, and he also did a dual program at MIT. You got to do the due diligence, and that's what we do for you.
I guess this goes into the next question. And I don't know if you're going to probably say they probably need to buy a subscription, but they wanted to know what subsector do you recommend that has the least risk? So I guess they're meaning subsector, like I guess testing would be a subsector, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that you're going to find risk in every subsector. It's really, you just need to utilize the service to mitigate that risk, because you'll have the opportunity to get in at these stocks at very low levels if you're patient. It's all about timing, and a lot of people just act too quickly. You got to take a step back and let the experts handle this. And I literally monitor every trade. I will be able to help you take advantage of this opportunity.
Next question. Does any institutional investors use your research, or is it too early for them to come into the space?
I mean, I wish I had a contract with an institution. That's always something we're working on. But over time, while we build out our track record, we build out our independent research and multiple reports, then we'll be able to create contracts. And that'll take time because you need to see the industry develop and mature. No institution's going to cover an OTC stock. That's just the nature of it.
Well, I guess when you got G.W. Pharmaceuticals and what you got INSYS, they're considered cannabis, right?
Well, so GWPH is the only pure play cannabis stock that trades on a regulated exchange. INSY is actually like an anti-marijuana stock. They develop synthetic marijuana. So what they're doing is they're not really using the plant. They use chemicals. So they're really against marijuana in a sense. If they do well, it just proves a point that they don't need the plant.
Next question, I don't know if you can answer this, but your top 3 picks.
I can't give you my top 3 picks, but I'll give you 3 picks that you should be looking at. You should be looking at, let me pull it up. Breathe E-Cigarette Corp. They're about to receive a shipment, or they're supposed to receive a shipment this week from their manufacturer, and they've done a lot of great execution. I would take a look at Monarch America. They've been trading down, but the story is still there. And, I'll take a look at Totally Hemp Crazy. They're not led by the best management team, but their story is an execution story. The thing is that I can tell you these companies, but you really need to be a member to find out when to buy and when to sell. I've had members contact me and say, just thanking me because I made them enough money off one trade to cover 10 years of subscription.
Okay. I think our next question is from Greg Lopez, and I think Greg actually has a microphone. So Greg, go ahead and ask your question, Greg.
Yes, I was wondering if Technical 420 planned on listing on the OTC markets, or if you plan on filing with the SEC at any time in the future.
Never.
Never?
Never. I do not have any intention on wanting to deal with the legal fees and all that. I mean, I'd much rather be acquired out by a bank once they get involved and let them deal with that problem.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me mute him. Our next question is from Dan Stromberg. And Dan, I think you have a mic. You can go ahead and ask Michael your next question.
Don't have it, but evaluation metrics, and what would you use to privately held investments?
I think his question was, hold on. What valuation metrics would Michael use for privately held cannabis companies?
Well, a big one was revenue, of course. I mean, then you want to look at margins, but you got to also look at what's in their pipeline, because a lot of these companies, like you check out an MJ Freeway or a Leafly, they have a lot of potential in the future, so you got to look at their forward earnings as well. What can they grow? How are they executing? Private companies are a different type of valuation, but I don't know if that helped you.
All right, next question. What do you think is too many shares outstanding?
That's easy. Definitely you don't want to be in one that's over 250 million, and I'm saying 250 million as a pretty high mark. I mean, if you look at these companies, they have 1 billion shares outstanding. It's unbelievable, like how they can do something like that, because you can't spread earnings across 1 billion shares. And usually what you see these companies do is do a reverse merger to increase their stock price, decrease the amount of shares, but they'll never change their authorized number of shares. So they can continue to increase the number of shares they have down the line. You got to really be careful with these companies.
Next question, and I guess this goes with what you just said. What are some other red flags besides too many shares outstanding, and what are some good signs?
Well, some of the signs you want to see are a lot of things I look into. Like, for example, let me go to the previous slide was, you want to see kind of how the buying volume. I mean, I should have probably taken a better example than GWPH because it's pretty low shares and consistent. But you want to look to see the volume is a very important thing to look at. If volume is all over the place, they potentially have pump and dump artists involved. So you got to really look out for pump and dumps. And a lot of that's done by these people, by stock promoters putting out press releases, and these people own shares of stock. Same things with the people that write the research reports that own shares of stock. They're allowed to sell on providing positive guidance. So you really got to see how their shares are trading, how many are trading. You got to look into those types of factors, which I don't know if everyone has the time to do. That's why we have our service. You want to look into what announcements have they made. You want to look to see if they've executed on those announcements. Have they just forgotten about it? A good example, look at CBIS, for example. I mean, sorry, Darren, but if you look at their examples, they don't execute. You got to look for execution stories. No, I said that you should look out for companies' execution. Just make sure they're executing on their actual initiatives. A lot of companies announce press releases, and they don't ever execute. They just continue to announce news after news, but they never announce the completion of something. So you want to look at how these companies are completing their projects and if they're executing.
Okay. Do you have a trading platform, or is it just a subscription-based service?
Yeah, we do not have a trading platform. We're not an E-Trade. We recommend people use an E-Trade or a TD Ameritrade because if you go through a broker-dealer, for example, when I was at Raymond James, these trades cost like hundreds of dollars. E-Trade, you'll pay $10 per side. It's because the bigger firms, they don't like trading penny stocks. So if you're going to be trading on these, you want to use one of those types of online brokerages.
Okay. Do you have a trial offer?
Yes, we give you 1 week free. You won't be charged at all. Literally, you could cancel for any reason. It's not a problem. If you try it out, you can cancel within that 1 week. You'll receive an email before your trial period's over letting you know that your trial period ends in 2 days as well. We give you the notice of every payment that you'll be charged, the monthly fee. Nothing out of the ordinary. We are the actually cheapest platform out there. I mean, other services charge at least 50%, maybe even double our price right now.
Next question. Who are your competitors as far as cannabis research is concerned, and what is the difference between you and them?
So from a research perspective, I don't know of any firm out there doing independent research. You can find research reports through companies like Goldman Small Cap, which is not related to Goldman Sachs, trust me. You can find them through Viridian. You can find them through Cohen Research, but this isn't, they get paid for that. They get paid in stock. Just look at their disclosures. They tell you. They get paid stock or cash to write a report and help pump volume. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what they do, but they give the companies the ability to edit the report. So it's not legitimate. I mean, it's biased. Mine's just not emotional, and I have no care about what I'm writing about the company. I tell the truth. So I have no competitors.
So are you the only independent research at this time?
There is no one else offering independent research at this time.
Next question. Do you plan to stay retail focused, or will you change your focus to institutional investors as they enter the market?
Well, that'd be a great problem to have, honestly. I hope I can be able to focus on institutions. I mean, it's really not tough. It would actually make my analysis better for the retail investor if I'm with the institutions as well, because I know who's looking at what.
Next question. Do you have access to senior management teams? I guess the question is, how do you possibly do research if you don't have access to senior management? So I guess they're asking, do you have access to senior management to do this research?
Yes, I speak to the management team. I call every management team. That's my first. Well, actually, the first thing I do is I go to Google. I'll see if they have a website. After I find their website, I'll look for their phone number on the website. If not, I could get it through my Thomson Reuters platform. And then I'll give the company a call. A lot of them won't answer my phone. A lot of them won't answer your emails. A lot of them won't do anything. So that's how you can figure out which ones are legitimate or not legitimate off the bat.
Okay, the next question is, if you write an unfavorable report on a company, what is the response from the senior management team? Do they address that, or you just don't even hear from them?
No, they'll definitely address it. And I speak with the management teams at companies I don't like. I tell them how they can operate better. I try to make them more efficient. I want to help these companies in the end. I want to help them grow. I want to tell them what they're doing wrong or what they're doing right, or what they need to do for their shareholders, because you want to invest in a company that's going to create value for your shareholders. And Mentor Capital is a perfect example of this. What they have is they have a lot of subsidiaries, and what they just did is they hired on Lori, I don't know her last name, but she's going to help get these portfolio companies ready to be spun off as their own standalone stock, and then the investors get stock dividends. So you want to look for companies like that.
Are you talking about Lori at Mentor Capital?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the CFO.
Okay. I think Greg has a question. What's your number one? What's one play have you been most profitable with?
Well, my best one was THCZ when I told people to buy it in it was actually late January. It was probably around 1.2 cents. I was telling people to sell when it hit 8 cents. I was telling people to sell when it hit 15 cents. I was telling people to sell when it hit 29 cents. That stock went from about less than a penny to over 30 cents in less than 3 months.
Okay. Next question. Is there a misconception about investing in penny stocks versus stocks at higher dollar amounts?
Definitely. I mean, I think the movie Wolf of Wall Street made it even worse, because penny stocks are associated with fraud, but a lot of people don't realize that some of the best companies, household names today, were at one point penny stocks. I mean, look into your Exxon, look into your Amazon, look into what happened during the tech bust. Like, a lot of the best companies were penny stocks at one point. Yes, they probably didn't trade on the OTC, and it's very tough to get off the OTC onto a regulated exchange, but some of them will do it. There'll be a lot of consolidation in the industry.
Okay. Well, that concludes our Q&A, Mike. Any last comments on the industry?
Well, so a bill passed in the House of Representatives yesterday that would give the states rights again in the new funding plan. So now it's being sent to the Senate. So we'll see if that passes. If that passes, I think you'll see market sentiment improve. This should happen over the next week. And besides that, you should sign up, take advantage of our 3-week trial. If you don't like it, cancel. Check it out. It won't cost you anything if you don't like it.
Well, I think we got one more question. It appears you are into shorting based on a quick percentage increase. Are there any in the space you're long on?
Yes. I mean, here's the thing, though. I don't short any stocks. I don't recommend shorting because it's very tough to find shorts. But I do a lot of short-term trades. Because if a stock is up 70% in 2 days, why don't you sell? You shouldn't be holding that. It's probably going to go down. So there are a lot of long-term plays. For example, GWPH, I recommend that when it's down. You look at INSY, but if you want to look at the OTC, you got to find the real ones, and that's why you join my website.
Okay, Mike, I didn't think you could short penny stocks.
No, you can't, but some people try to short Medbox. They were kept on asking me why they can't find shares. I'm like, you can't find ones to short. Like, but the OTC does send out a short list. Actually, something interesting was that PZOO, PZOO, the number of shares sold short went from being 26 million to only 50,000 as of May 15th. So the OTC does send out a list, Darwin.
Okay, why did that number change for PZOO?
I don't know. It happened out of nowhere. It was just THCZs went up a little bit, but PZOO, like all the shares that were sold short, just were not anymore. I guess they covered their positions. It's interesting. And the stock rallied like 30% after I told people this too.
Okay, maybe investors that shorted the stock, what did they? You think they got scared and decided?
They probably got a margin call if it started going up, because they made an announcement. They got a favorable reaction, so then people probably had to. I mean, those questions get very deep into it. It's very tough to explain that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Michael. Michael presents every month, and we really appreciate Michael. And Michael will be part of the Cannabis Publicly Traded Companies Investor Analysts and Media Conference next year in May. So we look forward to listening to Michael. He'll probably be a keynote speaker. But we really appreciate it, Michael, and we look forward to hearing from you next month.
Thank you. You have a great rest of your day, Derwin. I appreciate everything you do.
All right, thank you.